Helen Rothberg is a professor of strategic management at Marist College in New York, and she is also the president of HNR Associates consulting firm. She spoke with us about how everything she learned about leadership she learned from bartending. Why do you say everything you learned about leadership you learned through bartending?
Well, a bar is a microcosm of life. And it's not just serving drinks, and it's not just giving people peanuts, and it's not just taking care of a wait staff. It's really about building community. It's about getting people to share experiences, to talk to each other, to be part of a story, as opposed to just a person sitting at a bar and drinking. And in all of my education and all my years of consulting, I began to realize at some point that whatever I was doing in a classroom or doing with a client was exactly the same as what I would do behind the bar.
What are the key attributes every leader should have?
Well, in my experience of educating leaders for a couple of decades and working with leaders in corporate America, I really discovered common attributes. And the best leaders have vision, integrity, ingenuity, conviction, courage, are great communicators, and have empathy. And I could tell you a little bit about each one. Vision is the ability not just to see forward for the organization, but to see forward tomorrow and to see forward next week. A vision for yourself, a vision for the people who work for you, a vision for your department, a vision for the community that you serve, a vision for your stakeholders. Ingenuity is the ability to look at problems and say, hey, this is something we haven't seen before. Is there a better way to do this? Or this is really difficult, or this is really opportunistic. How can we marshal the energy of the people who work here and really figure out to approach a common problem in a brand new way, or a new problem in a really common way, and how to make everything a little less difficult and a little bit more inventive? Integrity speaks for itself. People have to be able to look themselves in the mirror, not just as the leader, but in what they're asking the people who work for them to do as well. You have to be truthful, and you have to be honest, and you have to approach each situation as if you had no other opportunity but that opportunity to do something right and do it the right way. Conviction is belief. You have to have passion, and you have to believe in what you're trying to do, and you have to commit. Courage is about making difficult decisions, and sometimes those difficult decisions are about making an organization smaller, about having to let people go of their jobs, about having to move people into positions they're not happy with. Sometimes courage is really about taking a leap into the future that nobody else can see and making a bet with the organization's resources to try to create something that doesn't exist yet. Communication, everyone talks about it. None of us really do it well. Communication is not just about words. It's not even just about actions. It's also about body language. It's also about tone of voice. And you can say something one way, and it can be interpreted in many different ways, depending upon how you sound, how you hold yourself, whether you're making eye contact, whether you're being open, whether you're being angry. It's really important. And the final piece is empathy. You have to be able to put yourself in someone else's shoes. The people who work for you, the people you serve, the community, your customers, your shareholders. You have to understand their story so that you can create the best path for them.
What can HR professionals take away from the leadership lessons you've learned through bartending?
We're all the same and we're all different. And people really thrive when they're able to stand solid in their own shoes and come from their strengths. And sometimes their strengths and what they do really well is a little different and a little off the beaten path of what's typical perhaps in a position or in a job description. But if that person has the drive and the desire and the vision and the courage, then HR professionals can learn their story and find a way to help those people evolve in the way that's best for them. And then everybody wins.